this. All the way through lockdown. Do you know the old the news thing?
Oh yeah.
I that was
the
honestly
news.
that that was like the highlight of my week. Soon as it popped up, it was on a Monday, wasn't it? Monday at evening, it would come on, and straight away I would have to watch it. Didn't matter how busy I was, and it was just so funny.
Thanks,
and
man.
I really enjoyed it.
Hello and welcome to today's show. It's a very difficult one. The day we shot this episode was the day that sadly our amazing friend Chrissy lost his life and succumbed to his injuries from an accident at Donington Park British Superbikes the other weekend. So this episode is dedicated to him, and he'd want us to go on and still be silly and enjoy the news. So until we figure out what to do in the future for Chrissy and everyone here, and all of his fans and all of his subscribers and all of us as a community, just enjoy the show. And we love you, Chrissy, and we miss you terribly. Are we on?
I think we're on.
I'm on this one here.
I'm on that one there.
Itchy head.
What's wrong with the off-white?
It looks white in that.
As in, the jacket's off-white and my shirt's white.
Well, you look a mate, so... Anyway. Welcome to the news!
Hey!
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been too long.
It has been way too long. It's been like 5 months.
No, it's not.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Look, this is the problem with being tall. Look how long. Look how long. Back once again with the Renegade Master.
D4 Damager.
Power to the people.
Back once again with the ill behaviour.
With thine ill behaviour. Right, on that note, speaking of ill behaviour, should we go straight into Boothy's update?
Yeah,
I mean, I was trying to be a professional segue.
Great segue, yeah. But I mean, it's not. Yeah. We said it now, so we're going to go straight into Boothy.
Yeah, because we know so many of you.
Yeah.
It's been on the tip of your tongue and the edge of your fingers.
Yeah.
Asking about him, which is obviously a big concern of everyone's. So here he is now with a little VT from somewhere up north.
Hi boys, missing you both like crazy. Just wanted to let everyone know that I'm doing alright after the TT crash. Still getting used to having 5 fewer toes and I can't walk properly on a prosthetic leg yet, but hopefully I'll be able to ditch the wheelchair and the crutches sometime early in the new year. Anyway, we'll have a proper catch up next week, but I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that's commented or messaged me sending the best, and to everyone that's donated to the recovery fund, which really has made one of the toughest times of my life that bit easier to swallow. So thank you to everyone so much. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.
Obviously, Boothy has been off sick. He's, he is...
Ill behaviour, exactly. That's why the segue works.
I know, I was just explaining to people. Oh. Jeez. You don't need to explain the segue. I think everyone got it. If you need to explain it, then there's something wrong with it.
All right.
Yeah, obviously, Boothy's been off, and his main aim, we actually are seeing him next week with a proper catch-up. You know, and he's although he's off sick and he can't actually work, we are catching up with him because I know, like I said, Chris touched on the fact that he's a valuable member of the team now, and everyone misses him. We all miss him, and we're gonna finally catch up with him properly. He's getting there. He's getting there. This week is the week of Intermot, and it's new bike season.
It is new bike season.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's like exciting time of the year.
It is the best season of the year, but you can get disappointed.
You can get very disappointed, and I think a lot of people that went to Intermot were disappointed. Intermot, if you don't know, it's in Cologne, and was this massive show where lots of manufacturers turn up and unveil bikes for the next season. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case this year.
It used to be. It was a show of muscle, wasn't
Yes.
it? It was a show of power and dominance. And even if no one came, manufacturers used to want to duke it out amongst themselves to be like, no, I'm alpha.
Yeah, it was. They flexed against each other. That was what it was all about.
That was the point.
And then you have EICMA, which is coming up in October, and unfortunately, there's just not a lot coming out. But there are
more dropouts as well. So
more dropouts. Yes.
Yamaha aren't there.
Yeah. KTM aren't there. KTM group aren't there. But of course, Ducati, in Ducati style, are launching bikes, which we'll get to later on. They're launching bikes before the shows in their typical glitzy glamour premieres. And should we go straight onto the Multi V4?
Let's just go straight onto new bike news.
Yeah, new bike news. Here's new bike news.
New bike news.
New bike news.
I hate to say I told you so, but this is the one thing that you said would never happen.
Yeah, well, that's what they told me that it wasn't happening.
Don't listen to them.
No, they're liars.
Don't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
And that was kind of because we obviously did, and if you haven't seen it yet, we'll put a link in the description for the big adventure test that we did, which subsequently we got demonetized because we talked about a bum hole.
Yeah.
In fact, I shouldn't say that. Bleep it
Well,
out.
you can say bumhole.
Can you say bum hole?
You can say bumhole, but it was the way it was delivered.
Like a yawning spider.
Well, it was more
biting the top off a calipo.
It was more that kind of in-depth.
So all the stuff
biology.
I've just done.
No, it wasn't as bad as that. Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
go and watch the video.
yeah, go and watch the video.
And in that video, the Multistrada was, what won? I can't even remember.
the Multistrada won.
Yeah. But the biggest issue was that you could only go about 6 miles.
It was horrendous. All the other bikes had over 100, 150 miles range left, while the Ducati, fuel lights come on, oh, bloody hell. And I got to say, and I wrote this on the website when I was doing the launch piece, is that as someone who doesn't really care about fuel consumption, it did sort of anger me quite a lot. So
Greta's not going to be happy with you, is she?
No.
But it's just frustrating, isn't it? Because sometimes you want to stop and not have to fill up. Like if you want to stop for yourself and just go and have a drink or something, oh, maybe I should fill up now. And it's constant range anxiety. So anyway, they've addressed that now because it's now got is it 28 litre tank?
30 litre tank.
It's a 30 litre tank.
It's a 30 litre tank, and it's called the Multistrada V4 Rally. And it looks impressive. It's got spoke wheels. It looks, it's got
some bars.
It's got some bars, got some bits and bobs. It's also got better travel suspension or more travel suspension. But the big thing, as most of you know, who regulars who are 44 teeth, technology excites me. And this particular bit, this nugget that we talked about on the phone, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I had a raging Casey.
I don't know what did we talk about?
So it's a technology that is already seen in Ducati V4s, in that the rear bank of cylinders cuts. So in idle, when it gets, when you come to a stop, pull the clutch in, the rear bank cuts, so you just have the front two. And it's really subtle. You don't notice any difference. But with the Multistrada V4 Rally, this technology has been sort of extended further. So to reduce emissions and noise and to save on fuel economy,
which is needed. Because even with a 30 litre tank,
it's still going to guzzle.
It's still thirsty.
Yeah. So even when you're moving, the rear bank of cylinders cuts, which I think is,
Yeah, when you're on a constant throttle, when you're not hammering.
You won't notice it. We haven't ridden it yet. We will soon, but you won't notice it. And I think that is, it's just something clever and exciting, and
yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
but it kind of, the other bikes don't need to do it because they don't drink as much fuel.
No, so
it's kind of that's how they've addressed the range issue, which is a good thing. So well done.
Well done, Ducati. Well done. New bike news. And talking of new bikes, how do you fancy a new bike, Chris?
I always like new bikes.
How do you fancy winning one?
I love winning stuff for free. Well,
it's not for free, but
it's paying a little bit and winning something way more than I put in.
Exactly. Well, check out our friends at Apex 66.
Which is a bit like 44, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They copied us a little bit. Yeah. Get the brand. But these are our friends at Apex 66. Genuine people. We've known them for a long time. So go and check them out. And in fact, the last shout out we did, there's a guy called Wayne. I believe his name was Wayne. Wayne. Sorry, his name was Jason. And he he won a Fireblade just from listening to us and saying go to Apex 66. And you can actually get 25% off your basket with the 44 teeth coupon code. The 44 teeth coupon code 44 teeth. And we'll put that in the description anyway. So,
So staying on Ducati, now we hear whispers that there is going to be another V4 platform launch soon, and it's going to be a sporty bike, I believe. And my money is on a updated V4R.
Well, it needs it.
It's been around a while, isn't it?
Not that Bautista needs it.
Yeah.
But
it's been around. You look at the life cycle of these things, and it's about time. It's kind of dipped off the radar. No one in everyday bike world talks about a V4R these days. It's sort of, what, 3 years old now?
I think maybe even older.
Maybe even older.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I presume, obviously 1,000cc and going to be a homologated race bike, and probably have some pretty cool technology on it. Or will it? I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a stripped out bike that people buy to go racing on.
Well, there aren't many V4s on the road. V4Rs on the road, sorry.
No.
And that's because they are
Really expensive.
and they're homologated races, and which is strange because the V4Rs, I rode one briefly, and it's much easier and much nicer to ride than the V4S, which is strange, but obviously it's a more linear engine. But going back to that, the original point, I think we'll see a V4S and a base V4, I think, as well as a V4R. That's my prediction.
So a new updated family,
Yes, a family. Yeah.
like Goldilocks.
New bike news.
And then we've got BMW. They have announced their S1000RR, which we did a video on, reading a PDF in this very seat.
I think it looks really good.
I think it's a quite a nice segment. We should do on.
Well,
the
no,
channel.
I meant the bike. But yes, the video
I
was
thought you were complimenting
well done,
on my
Chris. Yeah, the video was
PDF skills.
No, I mean it was that as well.
Yeah,
But I think
fine.
the bike looks good. I think there's lots of relevant changes. I mean, it certainly didn't need more power, but we got more power.
Yeah, still just under the M power though. I think they have to do that for even if it isn't, they probably just wrote that it was, because if you had just spent 35 grand on an M, and I hear whispers that if you really want an M, you can probably get quite a nice little discount if you said, I want one right now. Anyway,
How's your father?
the bit that excites me most about that bike, I said on the video, is this, if it works, is this drift.
Yes.
The steering head angle drift calculation. I mean, was I correct in that? I don't think anyone else has.
You are correct in the sense of the word, but Yamaha obviously have the slide function.
It's not the same.
It is.
It's not, because it doesn't measure the headstock angle.
But the thing is, the bike this is the thing. Thanks to the 6-axis IMU, the bike knows how far the rear wheel is out of front line with the front. So it is just another way of saying, yes, it's.
Well, no, because it doesn't know that it's out of line
does.
that much.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't, because it can't
does.
measure.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does. Right, mate. Oh, I'll tell you a little rumour in a minute. I've had some shocking news
What about some chop?
about some chop and a very well-known bike racer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's not.
We can't really say that on television though, so because we'll get sued. The technology is very similar, shall we say? And I think it works amazingly well on the Yamaha. And that Yamaha, the throttle isn't as nice as the BMW. It's not as predictable. And I think the BMW will suit it, the technology really well. And I was just surprised other manufacturers haven't done this before.
I'm riding it in 3 weeks' time, so let's see. But it's going to be one of those things, right? You got this bike for an hour, go and try and activate the drift control. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but
You're not going to see it.
If you want me to go and test it, mate, I'll go and test it. You know what I mean?
Don't want to crash it like you did the last one.
It's Portugal as well, isn't it?
It's not there anymore.
It's not.
It's Almeria now.
Okay, anyway.
So that's good. Obviously, it's got the aero on the front and all the other stuff that we spoke about in the video. And I think, relevancy, yes, 17 grand or 18 and a bit for the sport is 18,000 quid is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but relatively speaking, it's not.
It's not, is it?
No,
it's not.
And it's scary. And this goes back to another conversation we have later on about the current state of bikes and what we want to do about it. But
yeah, at that entry point, it represents pretty good value. Looking at the rest of what is out there,
I think my prediction is going to be at least half a second a lap quicker with that technology, because the traction control, BMW's electronics. Again, we'll get onto electronics later on. BMW's electronics are good, but I think it's when you're on the absolute limit, they become intrusive, and for racers and more experienced riders, you turn them off. But with this drift function, I think it will genuinely be a fair bit quicker.
I mean, I've never, to be honest with you, when you turn that, I found that their power electronics exceptionally good. The ABS has sometimes been intrusive, but again, this one's now got a slick tyre mode and ABS mode.
Yes.
So you can, like all the Europeans seem to manage to do, is be able to turn ABS off. Well, I don't understand why the Japanese can't do it, but anyway, that's it. So either or, I think it's a predictable life cycle change in that bike, and I'm looking forward to riding it.
While we're on the subject of 1000cc sports bikes, I think it's a good idea for a quick interjection, Chris.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You do what you want.
We have received, it's not confirmed yet, but I am told that it is 100% true. Sadly, not only do Kawasaki leave MotoGP at the end of this year, we will have no...
Well, Kawasaki aren't in MotoGP. So.
Suzuki. Suzuki. Not only is Suzuki leaving MotoGP this year, we will have no GSXR 1000 or any GSXR, probably. Certainly no GSXR 1000 in the range for 2023, and that is criminal.
Got it.
That is criminal.
You can't even buy it. Greta's fucked that as well. Love them or loathe them in terms of brand, what they represent, the people that ride them. A motorcycle world without the GSXR is not a world that I want to live in.
No, and I'll tell you what, that's beautifully put, Chris.
Thank you, mate. Because it's the ultimate cheap way to get massive power, fun,
lap times
and lap time. I mean, you know, saying that, it's still 17,000 quid list price, which is almost the same as a new BMW. But it's always been, you know, an excellent value for money machine if you want to go really bloody fast and do really bloody well. And they've always been really rounded bikes. They've never been exceptional in one area, but as a balanced machine, it's always been fantastic. So I think maybe this year we should do some kind of homage to the GSXR 1000.
Sayonara, GSXR.
Oh. I'm going to go down Zara.
I'm going to go down on Zara with my GSXR.
Do her in the R.
Liquor. If you want proof of just how good the GSXR is at the moment, look at Charlie Nesbitt winning Superstock races on a bike that is essentially 6 years old.
Yep.
5-6 years old. Unchanged.
And let's not forget going up into the Superbike team and doing really well.
Yeah.
Beating his teammate.
Yeah.
And he's never even ridden the bike before. Anyway.
No, I mean, that kid has got talent. And of course, we showcased that in the 24-hour race. So I'm glad
we spot talent.
We did it, yeah.
So
it's not a coincidence that after that race, all of a sudden he started doing well and he's up in the Superbike team.
Yeah.
You do the math.
New bike news.
And speaking of Intermot, which we recently touched on, Honda unveiled sort of several models. The highlight being the Honda Hornet CB750. Now, I'm a bit of a Hornet fanboy. I know you are. You're a Bandit boy, aren't you? Of course you are. You're a Bandit boy. I'm a Hornet man, as Budget Bike Bout shows. Started racing on Hornets. Brilliant bikes. And the new Hornet is a 75cc parallel twin. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like the idea they've gone to twin. It's a bit of a strange one because it's 750 or 755. They can't race it in Super Twins in the Twins Championship, which is a bit of a strange one. Anyway, it's a parallel twin, 75cc with a 270-degree crank. So basically, it's got an offset crank in different firing order. So 190 kilos, show a big piston fork, and it's under $7,000. So it is I think it's reminiscent. I think you agree, Chris. It's quite 890 Duke. They copy.
Yeah, looks all right. Yeah,
it looks all right for under $7,000. That is going to be a very good bike. It also has 3 levels of engine braking.
Wow. Which is just, I mean, why would you? Why?
I don't know.
It's probably because is that engine in another bike?
No, it's a brand new engine.
So maybe
it will be featured in
something else. Yeah.
New bike news.
Triumph also took their wraps off the Speed Triple 1200RR Bond Edition, and it's going to cost you £21,995 for a bit of carbon and a paint scheme.
There's no extra fork.
No.
Dib dobs.
No.
Wheels.
No.
Brakes.
No.
What's the standard bike?
17, 18, yeah. That's a hell of a markup.
You've got to like Bond.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Bond hasn't been the same since Roger Moore left. GP, that's getting pretty
I tell you
spicy, isn't it?
I'm sick of hearing people talk about how shit GP is this season.
That's pretty good.
Just go.
Go and ride a horse.
You have the best riders, you have the best teams, you have the best bikes, you have, I was going to say the best mechanics, but we'll get to that in a minute. You don't get the best mechanics, you get the best fucking dickheads. Best tracks and best technology. Needless to say, it just goes on. Best women, best men,
best blowjobs,
best
anal.
GPs. I mean, it's been unbelievable this year. I think it's not World Superbikes, it's not BSB, and it's never going to be. And I tell you what, if people go, oh yeah, I can't wait to see Top Rack do that on an M1. If Top Rack does what he's doing on his R1 when he gets on an M1, he will not survive. He will crash his brains out. You cannot do what those guys are doing. They're GP thoroughbreds. They're stiff, unforgiving chassis.
I thought you were saying they're stiff.
They are stiff as well. Yeah.
Well, I have other points on that, but I would interject. I think Top Rack would do.
No, you can't.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
You can't do it.
And I think you're going to be wrong. You're going to eat some more apology words.
There's no way Top Rack could do what he's doing. They wouldn't call him Stop Rack. They just call him Top Rack. Top Racks. Top.
Spice Rack.
Spicy ribeye. Anyway.
I mean, that's a separate conversation.
Yes.
I personally think Top Rack would do exceptionally well.
Oh, he will, without doubt. But my point is...
But he's not going to outclass the field dramatically.
Sorry, I think you've misunderstood me. The stuff he does, the stuff he does on a superbike, as in like backing it in and doing all that stuff, you cannot do that on a GP bike. That's my point.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, back to
shout
GP.
out to Quattararo, I think,
yes,
because his equipment is obviously considerably below the. I mean, I almost want to call Ducati like it's like what's the Sith, the Emperors in Star Wars? You know,
the Daley Thompson.
They've filled the grid. There's 8. I mean, great, more bikes on the grid, fantastic. But 8 bikes, I think that.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, mate.
But it is because then you can manipulate, like Bastianini the other weekend didn't overtake Pecco. Zarco, suddenly got up to Pecco.
There's nothing wrong.
Overtake.
I want Pecco to win. There's absolutely nothing wrong with team orders in bike racing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but it's not even that team. It's a team owned by the manufacturer, which dribbles down.
Yeah.
So I find that slightly distasteful. But then you're a cheat, so you would quite like it.
Wow. You're a...
Shout out to Quattararo, because he's
quarter pounder.
He's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Shout out to my fam Aprilia. Shout out to Mav. I mean,
yes.
At the beginning of the season, I was like, God, I'd love them to do well. And Aleix, he was leading for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's still only 22 points behind.
I think it's a bit more than that now, is it? I don't know. Anyway,
well, no,
he's still in with the chance, and now Jack Miller's in with a bloody chance. You know, it's exciting. It's brilliant. I think who needs a showdown?
Who do you want to win?
Oh, and Pecco.
I don't. And then Aprilia, love it, brilliant. Another sub team next year. So Aprilia are going to be running 4 bikes. Brilliant, happy with that. And World Superbikes continues to be my favourite watchable race weekend. I think Bautista's got to do some pretty bad things to fall off the wagon, but we did see that when he was last on the Ducati in the second part of the season. But I just think he's a different rider now. He's got over his problems, and he doesn't, first half of the race, he doesn't do anything, does he? Just waits because he can't ride. He doesn't have the physical size to be able to muscle that bike. So he's learnt that. So I think he's on.
I still get up on a Sunday and go, yes, it's MotoGP. I don't go, yes, it's World Superbikes. Nothing to do with the racing. It's just that.
I do.
Okay, I'm just saying that I do it.
Okay. It's because there's 3 races mainly.
Yeah.
And if MotoGP had more races,
which they are next year,
I'd be way more up for it.
21 races next year, MotoGP. Sorry, actually 42 races because there's a sprint race on Saturday. Fucking hell. I feel sorry for the families of those mechanics. It's like, 21 weeks of the year racing, plus all the testing they're doing.
Might as well go and get a job at Quick Fit.
Yeah. Or as Matt Oxley says, be a bin man. I was a bin man.
You used to make cheese as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Cottage cheese.
No, you used to pack cheese.
Used to pack cheese.
You used to pack
make.
So that's enough about everyone else. Why you're really here, it's because of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's our news then?
Well, we've just come back from a little trip, haven't we?
We have, yes.
Yeah.
You've been, I mean, the response, let's just first get this out of the way. The response to Budget Bike Battle Bavaria has been phenomenal.
Yes.
I think I would say it's probably been the best response that we've had in terms of launch, in terms of the 90s Superbike thing.
Yes.
People have really
Yes.
got their claws into it and got behind the platform, and so that's been fantastic. So thank you ever so much for that response, and all of those who have booked cinema tickets. That information is going to be coming out soon, because if you're not familiar with the way we're doing it this year, we are going to have a premiere in, I think we're going to do 5, maybe 6 if Scottish people can get together and get a thing.
Well, actually, Northeast need to pull your fingers out because it's the lowest by far. So
Is it?
It's not at the moment. You guys need-
Newcastle.
Yeah. So the North.
Well, the cinema in Newcastle has only got 180 seats that we're looking at. So.
Right. Okay. Well, anyway, you still need to pull your fingers out because the Northeast is by far the lowest numbers of sales.
Okay.
So people in YI, Grimsby Dockman, Alan Shearer,
So Sunderland, Newcastle.
the Northeast. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Donny, Doncaster, Hull, Boothy's land, basically. Yeah, please. pull your
Durham.
fingers out. Durham. Go and see Gary's missus.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
So thank you for all of that. Anyway, so we're going to do the cinema thing. So we're going to have a extended. I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's going to be so much footage. I'm not quite sure people could sit through 4 hours of Budget Bike Battle.
No, but it's a director's cut, isn't it? It's the uncut director's cut.
It's a director's cut.
Yeah.
With all the bits that we might not be able to show.
Well, definitely can't show. Definitely can't show. Like the stuff of me pooing in a lay-by
Yeah.
and other stuff.
And when you came on my face.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, thank you for those of you who have booked tickets. That information about where and when will be coming out soon. But please, we've got an awful lot of editing, an awful lot of structure to do. So the reality is we're still looking at January,
It's going to be January, yeah. And of course,
because Christmas is in the way. If Christmas wasn't in the way,
Yes.
we would probably be able to get it out a month earlier. But you guys are going to be busy. You're not going to have any money. You want to spend it on, in fact, it's a good Christmas gift idea.
brilliant Christmas idea. For people in the Northeast.
Yeah, for Christmas. Yeah. And it's not just about the premiere. We're going to be there.
The
with
bikes
the
will be there.
Yeah.
I think Boothy's going to be there as well. He's confirmed.
Okay, cool.
He wants to come.
Q&A, and we'll have merch, we'll have giveaways, we'll have loads of
Doggy
stuff.
biscuits.
And it's going to be a fun evening out. So
For 44 quid, it's a bargain. It's
think
too
so.
cheap. A lot of people have said that. Too cheap. Maybe we'll just hike the price up.
yeah,
Quick, get them now before they go up.
I like the incentive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're back. But it was a brilliant trip. And I mean, people think it's predictable. And I don't think it is. So we'll leave it at that. But it was brilliant. And I thoroughly enjoyed most of it, actually.
Most of it.
Yeah. Well, some days are really laboured and
well,
hard work.
let's not get into it. It was a brilliant fucking trip, and it is going to be brilliant TV. So, go and get those tickets.
I think we should show our suits off, because
Yes.
the suits that RST made us
Yes.
are
Yes.
next level. So
Roll VT.
check this out.
Living in the light, you're giving out. Satellite in space. Whenever you cross my mind.
But I think we're now entering into a level I think 44 Teeth is going to elevate over the next 12 months, and I think you're going to see big subscriber increases, a much higher content delivery rate, which is going to be great for you guys and us. And I think we're going to try and up the kit review, workshop stuff, all the extra little bits and bobs, which is incredibly useful information. We're not going to stop doing the premium, let's say, like the Top Geary type stuff, like Budget Bike Battles. That's all still in there. But again, if this cinema thing works out, we might even have the budget to go to like America or Thailand. Thailand.
Well, that's the one we talked about earlier, isn't it? Off
Yeah.
camera. That's,
Bangkok. So the future is basically looking really bright, and we'd love your input because you guys are as much of this as we are, right? So
right.
If, in terms of, would you like, because we're having internal discussions about, look, do we just put everything on this main channel and then have like, Monday content is this, Tuesday content is that, Wednesday, Thursday? Because we need to have a structured, like a network, like ITV or Channel 4, whatever. Or do we then create subcategories, a bit like Bike Sausage, which just does kit reviews, which just does this, more generic content? So we'd like your feedback on that ultimately to contribute, because we want to know what you guys want to see. Do you even give a shit? Or does it, do you even look at the channel name? Or does it just pop up with a thumbnail and you go, I want to watch that? Does it matter? So, any information you could give us on that would be great, because we love you.
Yeah. What? Oh my God! Fucking hell! What? Shit!
Spider.
You twatted your face. It was like, what the fuck? Oh God.
On that note, it's time for Get Your Rat Out.
Get your rat out.
So this is the segment which is all about the ratty bikes, whether they're yours, whether they're your mates, or whether they're just a random person's that you repetitively see, and you want to air your frustration with their disgust.
I mean, we're talking all the things that we hate. Anodized bar ends, skull valve caps, horrible race reps. But I mean, we're going to start with this one from Rob Dewsbury. I mean, he doesn't know the guy, but this is a regular at his local bike night.
Hang on a minute. We don't know this person.
We don't know this person.
So
let's not judge.
No, but let's keep
it clean. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk let's use this image to talk.
To educate. It's educating people
about
how this is not acceptable.
From a safety perspective, having dreadlocks attached to your helmet.
Yes. Yeah.
And some sort of other prosthesis on the front. The bike, I don't really mind that much, if I'm honest.
I mean,
but that's definitely a look, isn't it?
For starters, those kind of cheap slash cut R6 cans, they should be banned. That gold, that should be banned as well.
Yeah.
I think that should be banned, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It has got NOS, so that is...
Has it?
Yeah, it's R6 H2O or N2O. What's NOS? It's not water, is it? H2O.
It's got coolant in it.
It's got coolant in it. No, but it's got some weird, as you can see there, it's got some weird, NOS thing. But, I mean, mate, have a word with yourself.
Yeah. Look, I'm all right if you love the Predator films. They're amazing films, and you want to have that image and be that Predator guy, and you love that character. I haven't got a problem with that. Go for it. Do you think that the camouflaged Predator would have a chrome gold R6? Is it an R6?
Yes.
With NOS and a gold helmet? Because he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
That's my biggest problem with it.
No, he'd have like an MT10 or some...
Well, for a start, it'd be matte black.
Yes.
Or camoed, invisible.
Yeah. I think that's not the biggest issue here. I think
it is for me. Okay. I'm being kind to the man because we don't know who he is.
We don't know who he is. No, I'm sure he's a lovely man. Maybe it's Rob. Maybe it's actually Rob Dewsbury. He's just pretending that it's not him.
Yeah. Basically, it's all Rob Dewsbury's fault for sending that in.
Yeah.
Get your rat out.
This is Paul Robinson's 1998 Triumph Trophy.
That's Paul, what Predator would ride.
I mean,
that's more Predator.
Look, on a second look, I actually quite like it as well.
I mean, it's not for me.
It's got wavy discs. I mean, that's an instant no. But of course, that's not. We're looking at the bigger picture here.
But the overall
metaphorically
style,
and literally, that is not the biggest problem here.
No, but I kind of agree with the overall style and cosmetic of the bike. apart from the bright black and white sticker bombed hugger, because it just doesn't fit with the rest of it.
But I mean, genuinely, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
That's a good entry.
I mean, you can't make one of those look much better than that, can you?
Get your rat out.
I mean, again, the response to Get Your Rat Out from the Facebook post has been phenomenal.
Yes.
So thank you for all your entries.
Here we go. Darren Harding in his is ZZR 600. I mean,
I quite like that. Yeah. Because I like that. It took a lot of effort curating the sheer number of stickers that are on it.
I mean, he
Gold
says
wheels?
he says he spent £450 and on the bike, and it turns out it's the best £450 he's ever spent for a gag. As it turns out, it's a bit of a hooligan. I'm sure you look like a right hooligan coming down the road, Darren. But no, fair play. Thanks for your entry, Darren. That's not a bad effort. That.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Get your rat out.
Dave Lightfoot sends this in. I mean, you'll know what this is. It's some sort of BMW. No, it's not, is it?
I actually really like that.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Isn't that a Harley? Isn't that one of those Harley Enduro
No,
bikes?
it's a Kawasaki, I think. Was it a Kawasaki? Or was it a Honda? I can't tell. But it's a custom.
I like it. If that shock had the correct height in it.
This is Dave from the Isle of Man. We met him on the Isle of Man. This is Boothy's #1 fan. Hi Kerry, hi Dave. Hope you're well. Lovely people on there.
I actually quite like that. I think it needs some height in the rear.
It definitely
and the front. But I actually think it looks pretty cool.
I
prefer that. At least someone's had a go at it than just gone to the Alibaba website and got a load of really cheap anodized tat.
Yeah.
Like that's and preload adjusters and all those things.
Are these wankers outside going to be out there all fucking day?
Yeah.
Get your rat out.
But anyway, if you have any
We got
entries for Get Your Rat Out, then please send them in, either Facebook or email or whatever. I'll put a post out on Facebook or Insta or whatever on our socials the week before we do the next one, and hopefully you can have a bit more time to send them in. But yeah, lovely entries. What's your favourite?
Favourite as in the worst?
Oh, I think Paul Robinson wins it. I think Paul wins.
See, but I think that'll win. Yeah, that's my favourite.
Yeah,
that's my favourite.
Well done, Paul.
You don't win anything.
No.
Just respect or lack of it, actually.
It's time for Mass Debate.
Masturbate.
Right then, so what's our Mass Debate?
Well, Chris, thanks for asking. Last week, or this week, when I was trolling through the social medias, Yamaha Motor put a post up, and it was... I'll put a screen grab up, but for the benefit of listeners, I'll just say they put a post up saying, for absolute cornering control, the MT10 is equipped with slide control, a system derived from our success in MotoGP, blah, blah, to detect a sideward slide at the rear tyre, even when conventional traction control may not detect. Anyway, so I was intrigued because lots of people don't like electronics today.
No.
And it's a strange one. It's almost like diluting. These electronics are making the bikes worse or heavier or... I don't know. Anyway, and one of the comments was, no need to learn how to ride a motorcycle anymore. Just give them a license and off you go. And the other one was, and where's the fun in that? I mean, sorry, let's just clarify a few things. This system makes you faster. It makes you safer. What is wrong with that? Can you give me any tips, Chris?
No, nothing. I understand where they are coming from because 10 years ago, it was quite a popular opinion that electronics were shit.
Yes, and I agree, they were.
And they were.
Yes.
But they're not anymore, and they haven't been for about 7 years.
Yeah.
So if you're on a high-performance bike, electronics are there, particularly sports bikes. I mean, MT10, slightly blowing the line, but if you're the object of a superbike is to go as fast around a circuit as you can possibly go, and if that electronic software system allows you to go faster, helps you go faster, then it is a net positive. And without that system, well, I'm sorry, but you just can't ride a 210 horsepower bike without any electronic aids whatsoever.
Not a road bike. Not a road bike that is been designed to run with these electronics. Race bikes are very different.
But if you're talking about BSB, but they do have electronics which kill the cylinders,
Yes.
all that sort of stuff. So
Yes.
when people say, "Oh, BSB, no traction aids there," well, there are. They're just not as we know it from our road perspective.
And BSB bikes are so nice to ride. The power is really smooth. It's nothing like a road bike. In fact, BSB bikes at lower gears, at certain RPMs, make far less power than road bikes because they've been designed that the riders can hold the throttle wide open. Excuse me. And there's a very different thing. But I think personally, it's coming from people who have
No skill.
No
already.
skill, exactly.
Already.
No skill.
They wouldn't even be able to feel the electronics.
They've got small
are gonna
willy
help
syndrome.
them go any faster.
Yes. And I think when you're being done around the outside of clearways
On a GS.
by someone on a CB500 or a GS, I think, mate, you're more than likely going to need these electronics.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because the one aid which we don't like on a racetrack that's to make you go faster is ABS.
Yes.
But I guarantee you that person wouldn't have a problem with ABS.
No.
But it's actually the worst one to have because it's going to potentially make you crash.
I mean, the MT10...
Not on a wet leaf going up to a junction, ABS,
No.
brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The MT10, proper nutty bike. And
Loved it when we rode it on our test,
Yes.
which is going to be out soon, actually.
Yes.
We need to get that out.
yes, just because that bike has that particular technology, that piece of technology, it does not detract away from the ride one slice.
And
And
you can turn it off.
Yes.
If you don't like it,
yeah.
so just fucking turn it off.
And also, I mean, we'll talk about the big secret that everyone seems to be scared about talking about is the fact that you can turn ABS off on any Yamaha.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know you could I didn't obviously listen to your videos, but I only learnt this on the GYTR launch where in order to turn the wheelie control off, you have to wheelie the bike. This is on an R1. And then, so it's got to be a fairly long wheelie because when you're in wheelie, you then have to apply the front brake to stop the front wheel
Do you mean the ABS?
turning. Yeah, ABS.
ABS, you said wheelie control.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
To turn the
ABS
ABS,
off,
off.
yes.
Yeah. And then land it.
I mean,
And that disables it.
it's-
Until you turn it off and on again.
you can. It doesn't have to be that long. No. As long as the front wheel is turning and then the front brake is applied, stopped, and then goes back down again.
Could you not do a burnout then?
You can, yeah.
So that would do it.
You can do a burnout. I did a burnout on the new MT10.
You're hard.
But perhaps we could put it here with all the electronics on. So, I mean, I'd love to understand. I'd love to understand. And this is not being narrow-minded or.
I can tell you exactly. Sorry.
No, but I'd just love to understand where these people come from.
I know where they come from, because they're old, and not in terms of age. They are still of the perception. They're the sheep in life. They're the people who, because it was once a popular and cool opinion that electronics ruin motorcycles, they are still there. They haven't moved on. They haven't gone with the times. They are dead to me. Their lives are over. No, but that's where it comes from. That's where a lot of all this shit on the internet comes from, is because people want to feel popular.
Yeah.
That person wants to have a load of likes underneath the thing. That's more important. And that's as simple as that. This is why I tend not to get annoyed by it anymore, because I'm above it.
I was say this is really good of you, because before it was something like that would really.
After 10 years in the game, mate, water for ducks back. And here the other thing: if you don't like it, don't buy the product. Go and buy a YZF 750.
And then high side the fucker, or lose the front on.
Well, not with that power, but yeah,
Well,
I mean,
you could do.
you could do, yeah.
Or or lose the front into a roundabout because of a bit of dead badger or bit of moist ground because you've got no ABS.
Or just turn it off.
Yeah, or just turn it off.
Or just shut up.
Or shut. Yeah, exactly. I think that's my overall kind of conclusion of this is just shut up.
We haven't mentioned his name, have we?
We haven't mentioned his name.
No, let's not. I don't.
No. I think I really would like to do a proper video with Steve Wilfmore on electronics and BSB, because those, like you touched on earlier, they're spending just as amount of money on a laptop and fine tuning the power delivery and ignition and everything else, fueling on a bike now than they are back in traction control days. Of course, there's far less to worry about anti-wheelie, traction control, to keeping the cost down, but in terms of computer time and screen time, they still have the best people on the best laptops on the best bikes.
And again, it's a race, right? You got 20 odd laps.
Yeah.
You need to make that tyre last. You need electronic intervention to be able to extend the life of that product. Because again, if you've got, what are those, 250 brake horsepower now? Maybe 230 at the rear.
Yeah.
You know, that's a ridiculous amount of power going through a contact patch that big. So just fuck off.
Yeah.
So that was Mass Debate. Let us know what your feelings are in the comments below on electronics in motorcycling. Don't let us sway you. You're more than welcome to Here's another thing I will say about the same type of person of that. You can't just disagree with someone and just go, well, that's shit, twat. You have to say why you disagree. That is the point of discourse, and that is the whole reason why debate exists. If I put an opinion out and people convince me otherwise that it's the wrong opinion, I'm absolutely happy to listen to it. But you can't just go, you're shit and wrong. You have to convince me. That's your challenge. So convince me. Convince us that electronics are not good for motorcycling.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And
after that, we'll just finish on one little thing that popped up the other day, which is speed limits for the sake of the environment. Now, this infuriates me. I will say it absolutely infuriates me.
Another element of the shittery that are smart motorways, and I first noticed it probably a couple of months ago. I was driving through Birmingham on a motorway where the speed limit is 70 miles an hour,
which isn't fast enough anyway. It's been 70 when cars were shit and they couldn't stop.
And there's less accidents in Germany with unlimited. Anyway, that's another story. But driving along, middle of the day, no traffic on the road, on the M6, I think it was, going through Birmingham, and we had to go down to 50 miles an hour with the sign saying speed reduced to reduce pollution.
What if you've got an electric car? Can electric cars go 70? This is the point. None of it makes any fucking sense. Because if you have conformed to sucking the dick of Greta Thunberg, you would have bought an electric piece of fucking polluting shit that's mined by children in the fucking Congo. But you've finally done that, and you still can't go 70 because they're still combining you in the same lump as the other fucking morons. So, for fuck's sake, just sort it out one way or another. Just shut up. Just shut up.
I think the only other motorway in the whole of the UK that is a 50 mile an hour zone is the M4 between Cardiff and Newport, and it shouldn't be a motorway. A motorway isn't limited through 2 or 3 miles, 5 miles of road. It shouldn't be like that.
I know. I mean, and this is slightly changing the topic a little bit, but within that smart motorway system. We all know with our Google Maps and our Waze and all that stuff that there's traffic in about 4 miles. But yet the motorway will tell you this, and it will lower the speed limit for about 8 miles before.
Yeah.
And
slow down.
You might not see it. Well, if you can't see it, if you can't see that the traffic in front of you has stopped, then quite frankly, you deserve to crash. I'm sorry. And just fuck off. Just get out. Just get out. Leave your car there and just fuck off.
Go to Congo.
So, And then, the other day I saw a sign going into a town.
I saw a sign. I woke up my eyes. I saw the sign.
It was a 20 limit, which is ridiculous. I mean, people can run faster than 20.
Linford Christie can run faster than 20 miles an hour.
Well, Usain Bolt runs like 30.
28.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
I think 28. Yeah.
Anyway, and I'm faster than that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, 20. I was like, oh, but it was in a different coloured ring. I think the coloured ring might have been blue or green.
I think it's green, yeah.
And it said... It didn't say the speed, it said recommended limit is 20. Recommended limit is 20 in a 30 mile an hour limit. Why don't you just write recommended 5? Or why don't you just recommend you fuck off?
Recommend you suck on this.
Recommend everyone stays at home. Right, and...
anyway, on that news...
thank you for joining us, and we'll try not to leave it so long next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Can we get a pizza?
No.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I've got to go to parents' evening.
It's only 2:00.
Yeah. Parents' evenings at 5 o'clock.